Hey everybody, I'm ZeldaMaster, and in this video I want to discuss something similar to my previous video, and that is the potential of a new Legend of Zelda game, but this time for mobile devices. Now that may sound a bit weird to some people, but I actually really loved the games Nintendo has released for mobile devices, and the idea of a Zelda game coming out for mobile sounds really exciting to me. Now, the few games that Nintendo has released are Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Dragalia Lost, and Fire Emblem Heroes, with Mario Kart Tour hopefully coming out later this year. And there has been rumors that there is a Zelda mobile game in development, but none of that has been confirmed, so this video will be complete speculation on what we might get, especially with E3 around the corner. I'm just overall excited for what news we may get, even if it is something mobile. I've been having a lot of fun with what Nintendo has been releasing for mobile devices, that if they were to release anything else new, I'm definitely all for it and would love to check it out. Now, my favorite out of all of these mobile games Nintendo has released is Dragalia Lost. This game has taken so much of my time. I've had so much fun with this, and the concept kind of opened up the idea of what a Zelda game would be like on mobile. Now, one thing I gotta commend Nintendo for is the fact that they're not doing ports, and I don't want any port-like games. It'd be cool to have a few games that are ported on mobile, but I prefer games that are specifically made for mobile, not what Square Enix does, where half of their games are just Final Fantasy ports for mobile. No, I want games that are meant to be played on mobile devices, not just because of the resolution is different, but also the way the game is played. What Nintendo has done with these games is they kind of give you games that are meant to be played at bite-sized moments. You know, you're never really going to play a mobile game for too long. You kind of just open it, play, you know, whatever few quests you have for that day, and then come back to it later. And having something like that with The Legend of Zelda would be super interesting. I'm not looking to go all out or have like a hardcore game. I would love just something very simple to what Nintendo has already been releasing. Most really good mobile games are like that. They're just games you open up every day with challenges, updates, and different things they add, constantly, you know, adding something that you can check out throughout the game, and that will obviously generate the game cash, as well as get you to come back to the game constantly. And if the game is free, you know, spending some money on it wouldn't seem too crazy, but overall the games Nintendo has released, you really don't have to spend a dime to feel like you're truly enjoying it, at least the free ones, that is. But if we're talking about Super Mario Run, I believe you actually have to purchase that game immediately after trying out the demo when downloading it, so that game is a game on its own. But when it comes to like Dragalia Lost or Fire Emblem Heroes, those are games that you could truly get anything you want within the game without really having to spend a dime, as long as you dedicate a lot of time into actually playing it. And the game that really interested me, like I said, was Dragalia Lost. I had so much fun with that game, and I'm still having fun with it because the game, like I said, is being updated with new events. Currently, there's like a Wukong type event that is out, and I've been constantly playing that online with random people, and yeah, all of that together just kind of made me think of what if we had something similar like that in The Legend of Zelda. Because what's really cool is both Dragalia Lost and Fire Emblem Hero are like gacha games, and for those who don't know what those games are, it's just games where you have to constantly summon or, you know, just kind of open up a random thing that is randomized, and that will kind of give you teammates or helpful things throughout the game. And usually it's teammates. You're trying to collect as much cool characters as you can in most of these games. And yeah, while it is randomized and there's like a gray area for a lot of people there, you don't actually have to spend money to unlock them. As long as you play the game and open the game every day and do your daily challenges, you'll have a good amount of progress to where you'll always be able to kind of, when something new comes out, attempt to unlock it. Now, recently they actually did a crossover with Dragalia Lost and Fire Emblem Heroes, where you could get the characters on opposite games, mainly Dragalia. I made sure to get the boy Marth on the game, but yeah, overall it wasn't too hard. I didn't really have to spend money to get it. As long as I dedicated some time into the game, I was able to play it. And the reason why I praised Nintendo for that is because while the game is free and you really don't have to spend a dime, most gacha-like games really push for buying and for having to spend money. I feel like really the only game you have to spend money on is Super Mario Run, and that is because the game is a full-fledged game that you can play, and while there is really only one button to tap, it still is fun. Like, don't get me wrong, we're getting Nintendo IPs on the go, we're able to play them. While they are very simple, they're still super fun for what they are, and imagine a Legend of Zelda game like that. So, now that I kind of talked about what is already out there, I kind of want to talk about what the next Zelda mobile game should be, or the first Zelda mobile game should be from Nintendo. What I would like is for it to be a gacha-like game, and the reason for that is when you look at Fire Emblem Heroes, there are so many characters to unlock from all the Fire Emblem games that having it randomized, having these characters to get, it makes sense, and it will take you a lot of time to do so. They even re-release characters with different skins or based off of different titles on how they look. And when you think about that, The Legend of Zelda is filled with so much content. Link alone has so many looks, so many attire, so many styles to him that unlocking different versions of Link in a game would just be fun on its own, let alone all the other characters that have different reincarnations or iterations of themselves, you know, the different Ganons, the different Zeldas, everything really. And that sounds so fun, just to be collecting things. And even if you do have to spend some money every here and there, or, you know, it's easier to spend money, you know, those who want to won't complain. Another thing I would really like to see is just it having gameplay somewhat similar to what Dragalia was. Well, Fire Emblem kind of kept it the same but really dumbed it down. Dragalia reminds me of a dumbed down version of Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, because you gotta use your finger to kind of control the characters. It's a top-down perspective-like game. You tap to attack your enemies. Everything about it is just so similar to how Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks played out that, yeah, playing Dragalia Lost reminded me of Zelda. That I was just like, imagine this game but skinned with Zelda characters. I would be so obsessed with it. I'm already obsessed with Dragalia Lost. Imagine Fire or Zelda in that kind of style where you can, you know, build your own team, collect your own characters, different links, and kind of play in that top-down perspective. You know, mini bite-sized levels. They don't have to be full-on temples or an open world or anything. It could just be mini chapters taking on. I feel like this type of gameplay aesthetic is just really, really good for mobile, and it's addictive. It really is addictive to come back to games like this. Like, I never thought mobile games would be good. If anything, you can look back at videos of mine from a couple years ago, and I would just, you know, make fun of mobile games. I said mobile games would never be good. Doesn't make sense to play a full-fledged game on mobile devices, and that's because I was right. You shouldn't play a full-fledged game. You should play a game that doesn't require too much. And these games even have, you know, ways to kind of prevent you from playing it too much if it's for free, because there's like stamina or something that you have to recover. So if you really want to continue to play the game, you have to spend some money if you're like overplaying it if the game is free. So at the end of the day, Nintendo will make profit off of everyone who really invests in this game. And even if not, just that whole concept of having a game that you can come back to and consistently play is just, yeah, super fun. And I mean, I feel like it would get a lot of people into Zelda. Everyone has a phone. Who wouldn't want to download a Zelda game on their phone? Even if it isn't something that they play consistently, just having a Zelda game on the phone sounds so fun. So that's kind of my concept. I look at games like Hyrule Warriors and how it incorporated all of these different Zelda games in one. Like, it was able to bring characters like Midna with characters like Ruto with characters like Fi, and just kind of jumble them up in one game all together. Imagine that being somewhat similar to mobile games. They could even somehow make a spin-off of Hyrule Warriors for mobile. Hyrule Warriors Go or something. Okay, maybe not Go, but like Pocket Edition as well, like how they call it Animal Crossing. I don't know, clearly a more clever name, but just that concept of, you know, just incorporating all the Zelda games into one in kind of like a spin-off party style game where, you know, it's not supposed to be taken seriously, it's just mainly fan service. I feel like Fire Emblem Heroes is a good example of fan service. Even I myself can't help it when there's a certain event that's really interesting. I try my best to unlock whatever character it is, even if it is randomized. I'll go through the time to like play a bunch of levels, get as many orbs as I can, and spend them all. And, you know, if I'm really desperate, I might end up spending money. But my point is, these games can really get people just from nostalgic reasons. And imagine having like Majora's Mask events during Halloween, or some Christmas event during Christmas, of course, or just in general, all of these things, just bringing people back to the game, because it will be consistently updated. I know, saying this out loud, I sound like an ultra Zelda fan who just wants anything Zelda related, and while that is true, actually, I feel like it's really more than that. I feel like just from playing these few mobile games that I've played so far, I can see the potential of a new Zelda mobile game, doing super well, and I don't see why Nintendo won't go for it. Now, obviously, I feel like Zelda with Nintendo, they, take it a bit more seriously. Like Zelda has a lot more integrity than maybe Mario, you could say. Nah, they take them both seriously, but Mario, there's a lot more spin-offs and a lot more just random things, and you'll even see Mario in games like Mario and Rabbids, but we're getting Cadence of Hyrule, and finally Zelda is, breaking out of its element and doing different things. I feel like Triforce Heroes was a really good example of just a more fun Zelda game with all of these different outfits. Imagine if they, somehow recreated a version of Triforce Heroes on mobile. You could play with your friends online. You're on a phone that's supposed to always be online, right? These games are made to be played online. You connect online every day you log in. You can't really play the game without being connected to the internet. So having a game like Triforce Heroes, instead of it being on the 3DS, it being on mobile devices would have made so much more sense. The game even has mini bite-sized levels to where you can play with 2 people and just kind of collect rewards at the very end. It feels like it would fit perfectly for a mobile game. Now, if Nintendo were to make something like that, I wouldn't want them to port the game. I would want them to make something optimized for mobile, something to where you get daily rewards for logging in, able to play with your friends, maybe levels that are easier to solve on the phone with one hand or something. Overall, like I said, the gameplay doesn't have to be super extreme or perfect. It just has to be something to come back to, something to waste your time with if you're, let's say, on the subway or, in a car driving somewhere, anything like that. I feel like that's where mobile games truly shine, and it's not meant to be something I'm investing hours upon hours in. And even if it is, some people might take mobile games that seriously, there will be content for it because the game will continuously be updated. So it would be for hardcore gamers and for people who just want to play very casually. And I'd be one of the more casual players, maybe not for a Zelda mobile game, actually. I might take it a bit seriously, and if that is the case, that'd still be fun nonetheless. But yeah, overall, I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to run this, with you guys, kind of see what you guys think of a Zelda mobile-like game. Sadly, none of this is confirmed in any sense of the way. It's all speculation and rumors, but the idea, like I said, just sounds so interesting to me that I would love to see that, and I really hope we do in the future. But yeah, my camera randomly stopped recording, so I'm not entirely sure where it cut off, but I was kind of ending off the video with, I'm just overall excited for what Nintendo has in store with their upcoming mobile games, and especially Mario Kart Tour. I can't wait to see that game later this year. In general, I feel like I'm sold on mobile games from Nintendo, or just games that are designed specifically for mobile, that aren't there just to kind of, take all your money from you. Because yeah, most games that have that gacha style are, nothing but just money grubbing style games that you're never really going to get what you want. But I feel like Nintendo has a decent balance to where I can see it being its own style of games and fun for what it is. So yeah, I would love something like that, especially with collecting all the Zelda characters, the different iterations of those characters, all of that. I'm down for it. And again, I know I sound like a fanboy, but again, let me know what you guys think. That's why I'm making this discussion video. I want to know your guys' opinions. Does this sound interesting to you? What do you guys think of the mobile games Nintendo has already released thus far? For me, like I said, Dragalia Lost is my favorite. I've had so much fun. If they ever do like some sort of Zelda event, expect me to talk about that and cover it in the future, because yeah, like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with Dragalia Lost, and let me know what your favorite mobile game is thus far. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I guess that does it for this video. Like I said, random discussion. I just want to kind of run ideas past you guys. With E3 coming up, it's kind of my favorite time of the year. I just love speculating things. I highly doubt we're going to get any announcements with mobile games, but if that is the case, it'd be fun just to kind of talk about it beforehand. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in general in the comments below. As always, I've been ZeldaMaster, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!